Welcome back to another video. I've got my little shadow on the way. So it's Wednesday afternoon. It is 3:20. I've pretty much finished work for the day. I've got deadlifts and last and press to do today. So in the last video, I haven't actually made the last video yet, but my plan is to basically, rather than sitting down and talking through my training block step by step and what changes I've made, I'll do a little voiceover of my sessions that I'm filming. And talk you through kind of what the plan is, because then obviously you can kind of see it in real time as I'm training. So that is kind of the plan. The light is not turned on here, but oh well. So that is kind of the plan. With today, plan is last and press, deadlifts, similar to structure to before, and then a few, like a glute circuit at the end, and some like lunges, basically. That's all it's gonna be. It's a little bit more lower body focused today. Upper body was yesterday. But good news today. So in the last video, I mentioned that I popped to my sister's house and she'd just, basically I went there because they'd just baked cookies, her and my nephew. So I went and had a couple of Nutella stuffed cookies. So I was like, I'm probably gonna have my calories today. So that isn't actually what ended up happening yesterday. So yesterday, I forgot that I now do my accessory day on a Tuesday. So I do my squats, bench, and then I go to pump gym to do my upper accessories. And I also had to do a food shop, and I'd also tracked a meal that I had to cook and prep. So when I suddenly realised that, I was like, I don't have time to do all of this because I didn't get home until like 4:30ish. So basically, by the time we got back from the gym, it was just gone 8. And I needed to do a food shop still. So I went and did a food shop, bumped into a family member who likes to chat, and well, a couple of family members, and I literally stood in Tesco's, like I did a 45-minute shop, just went like a big shop for the week. And then I bumped into her and was chatting to her for another 45 minutes. So I didn't get home until like 10:30. By then obviously I wasn't gonna cook. So I actually just had a little snack that I always have if I fancy something sweet or I just need something quick, which macros wise, not the best macros. Let me find it in the fridge. So basically I have some yogurt, and this is my favourite yogurt to have. It is a fat-free yogurt, but I don't really care about that. It's just a nice tasting yogurt. But if there's a different one that's on offer, I'll get that instead. I have that literally with some chocolate chips sprinkled in. So I had that last night when I got home. So yesterday's macros, I didn't track everything, obviously because I had those homemade cookies as well. So yesterday's macros, I definitely would have had too many carbs. My fat would have been pretty high. Zuko has just pressed play on the TV. Look at this. He's chewing the TV buttons, which is my fault. I shouldn't have left them out. Yeah, so he's just stolen the TV buttons, but I shouldn't have left them on the sofa. He does that all the time. I should know better at this point. But yeah, so plan basically was gonna be sit down, watch TV for a bit, but Zuko wants to start it without me. Anyway, not the point of what I was saying. So yesterday I would have gone over on my carbs, over on my fat, but protein would have probably been significantly under. And I actually think calories would have been under as well. Because my carbs were definitely higher yesterday, I did expect a little bit of a shoot up of my weight. Not much, just like 100 grams or so. But actually saw a new low weigh-in of 88.1. So we're so close to the 87s now. So that's good. The other thing I wanted to say as well is, so I'm a meat eater. I've always eaten meat. I come from a family that we eat a lot of meat. Like that is how we are. And it's something I've actually spoken to my mum about before, I think. But like I'm an animal lover. Like I love animals. Like all animals I love. And I genuinely feel quite guilty about the fact that I eat so much meat. And I always kind of have. And it's a silly thing to say because it's my choice. Like I could just not. I could easily, like I like cooking. I could easily find ways to make other meals and fit my macros and stuff like that. I'm just gonna put the camera down while I talk. Don't know what the angle's gonna be like. Yeah, so I could easily, well, I say easily, not easily, like it would require effort. But when I was in Tesco's yesterday, I just had a little look around, which is also why I took so long. Just also excuse any mess on the units, please. I was like, right, I'm gonna have a little look in the plant-based section in the fridges, because there were quite a few offers on in that section. And I got a few different styles of like fake meat. It's not actually, this is like a soya protein, like Greek style kebab filling, that I had today. And I was like, I'm gonna get a few different ones. What other ones did I get? I also got, like, I didn't know what these were gonna be like, but they're also like okay protein, good fiber content, like they're worth having. I got this one as well. And then I don't know what this one's gonna be like. I also picked up this because they were in like a 3 for 2 deal. And I can't remember how much they were, but they worked out quite cheap. So I was like, oh, okay, I will just get those. And I'm just gonna try them. Like, as if I cut back 1 meal a day of meat, then that's still progress, right? So that was my thinking. And I actually had some of this one today in a flatbread. He's getting the TV remote again. In a flatbread with some onion and some mayo. Just like, well, I cooked the onion. I just put some garlic in the pan and cooked that up in the pan. Put it on a flatbread with the mayo. He's running around with the TV remote. He's so silly. Look at my dog. Excuse me. Excuse me. He's so naughty. Anyway. So yeah, I put them in a flatbread earlier. Or that in a flatbread earlier. And it was actually really nice. It was also really filling. And the whole flatbread with the mayo and stuff as well, I think was like 430 something calories. And it was filling. Like I was full after, like, and I think there was like 4 grams of fiber in that as well. Well, there would have been more if you include the bread, so there would have been like, let's say 6 grams of fiber in the meal. So I'm pretty happy with that, and it was really nice. That was what I wanted to say. So basically trying to make a little bit of a conscious effort to try new things to potentially reduce the amount of meat that I am eating on a daily basis. I'm not going vegetarian, I'm not going vegan, just want to slowly try things, see how they are, and see how my body responds as well, because I know he's literally just taken the TV remote off the windowsill. This dog is a nightmare. Does anyone want a dog? Anyway, I'm gonna go. I need to sort my dog out and get this remote off of him again. But yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of something that I'd found in Tesco's that I quite liked. That also was fairly cheap, like considering that'll be, what, 6 meals altogether at least, so not bad. Yeah, nothing else to really say. I don't think I've got anything else going on today. It's just been a day of work and yeah, just been a normal day. Happy with the new low weigh-in though. 88.1 is a good sign. A few more days and hopefully we'll be in the 87s. Getting out of breath from talking so much, so I'm gonna stop talking. And yeah, I'll see you guys when I train. Okay, so apologies if you can hear Zuko in the background flinging his toys around. He's on a hyper at the moment, but I want to get this video up. So on this day, I haven't actually changed tons. So this is my Wednesday session. So I've got ascending sets of Larsen press still, except this is now sets of 5 and there is no top single at the end. I have got to confess, so they're all supposed to be 2 count pauses. I did forget on the first rep at 70 kilos. So that's really annoying that I completely forgot to pause that for 2 seconds, but it doesn't really matter too much. And to be honest, these pauses weren't completely strict, but I'm fairly happy with them. Like they were still good pauses. And the point of doing 2 count pauses on everything is because I've gotten really bad at comp pauses. Like I've gotten really lazy with them kind of since British has been done. So I want to just make sure that every rep I'm doing in practice, in training, has a solid pause. So then when it gets to comp day is easier than training. That's what I want. I want to train hard, compete easy. And the reason I'm doing Larsen press as well is to really help me reinforce that high chest position, which sometimes I do struggle with and get a bit lazy with when I've got my feet down. So I'm really happy with how these move, to be fair, and I'm happy with the execution of them. I've also taken the higher single out because there's just no reason for me to be going that heavy right now. I don't really need to do the Larsen press single anymore. I feel like that's kind of served its purpose and I want to just try not doing it. So instead I'm just doing literally 4 ascending sets. And because my first set was also at 70, which is usually my first warm-up on bench, I literally just jumped straight in. I didn't actually do any warm-ups apart from warming up my rotator cuffs and shoulders beforehand, like I normally would since I've been having shoulder issues. So ascending sets on last and nothing to really report. And then after this final set here, I then moved on to deadlifts. So I did consider adding a second conventional deadlift day into my program, just something very light for additional skill practice. But I think, to be honest, that would have been a bit silly. I don't need to do that. Deadlifts are actually going well, and last block went really well with them. So I've decided to keep the structure the same. So this block, I'm doing a top set of 4, where last block was a top set of 5, and similar pattern to what I do with my squats. Each block getting closer and closer to comp. Those reps will drop slightly. So next block will be a triple, the block after will be a double, and then the block after will be singles, which will be comp block. So that'll line up nicely. And then I just had back off 5s at 132 on this day. And then obviously all of this is just going to increase gradually over the block. Okay, so I've taken my camera off the tripod, which is now annoying because I got told it, but I've literally just finished my session. Added in a minute of like as many reps as possible on lunges, just body weight for now. Eventually I might either up the time or add some load to it. But the main reason I'm actually doing them, and I'm not doing them super rushed either, like when I say as many reps as possible, like it's just basically continuous flow for that minute, which is why I'm out of breath. But I'm actually just doing it more for like a mobility thing, for like knee health and my hips, and just to get my body moving a little bit more, because I think my camera's steaming up because of how cold it is in here. Basically, this is so bad. I think it is just because I'm quite heavy for my frame at the moment, at like 88 kilos, but and also the weather as well definitely doesn't help. But I just feel really stiff, like when I'm just getting up off the floor. Like it's not hard to get up off the floor, obviously, but like it just feels more effort than it should, especially because I'm not that old yet, guys. So I was like, right, I'm going to add those in just to get me moving a little bit more. And then I think down the line, when I start to get to the point where kind of I need to either drop calories fairly low to get under the 84 mark, or just if kind of weight loss stalls and I've already added in some steady state cardio, I might add in like a HIIT session once a week. It won't be anything crazy, but more just to get me moving around in different planes of motion and just like jumping around a little bit, if I'm honest, just to help me feel a bit more mobile. Like I shouldn't be feeling this stiff. I do think generally when I get to like 86 or below, I feel a lot more mobile anyway, so I'm kind of thinking that will help. But I quite enjoyed doing the lunges today, like it's something a little bit different at the end. But yeah, anyway, I'm gonna head in. I don't think I've got anything else to say. Tomorrow is now a rest day, so that's fun. Tomorrow will be a rest day. I've not got loads, but I might have a podcast booked in for tomorrow, but I'm not sure yet. Gonna have Kate Sweatman on, hopefully. So the plan is to hopefully do it tomorrow. But she's a very, very good equipped lifter, like really good equipped lifter. And she also coaches a lot of lifters as well. And I want to get a podcast out with her because she's really trying to help like GB grow their equipped team and stuff, like especially the juniors and sub-juniors that want to get into it. I believe she's head coach of the junior team. And like she's so passionate about it, and she coaches a lot of lifters, and like she's got a very good rep. I'll work my camera again. In terms of like how she is with her lifters and stuff. So I've spoken to her before about basically her goal to like just get a full team for junior GB on the equipped side. So I thought it'd be really good to have her on and just chat about equipped. So that's hopefully tomorrow, but basically equipped nationals was at the weekend and she completely lost her voice from it. So we're gonna see how she feels tomorrow. If not, we're probably gonna do it on Saturday, I think is the plan. But that's kind of all I've got planned for tomorrow outside of just normal work stuff, but yeah. Okay, so it's Friday. I need to film this quite quickly because I've got stuff to do. I've got a podcast booked in at 4 and it's just gone 3 and I haven't eaten yet, but there's a story behind that I'll tell you in a second. So I didn't pick up my camera yesterday. Quick recap of weigh-ins from the last couple of days. So Thursday morning, 88.2. Thursday is now a rest day. So Thursday was my lower carb day, which meant I was hoping to wake up in the 87s today. But no, I was 88.3 this morning. Granted, I did weigh in about 6 a.m. today and yesterday, so a little bit earlier than normal. But the reason for this is because I have come down with a cold. It's very early stages, minor at the moment. I'm trying to do everything I can to mitigate it from getting any worse. But Wednesday night after training, when we walked to Zuko, my throat felt incredibly dry and just uncomfortable. And I knew something wasn't quite right. I definitely wasn't dehydrated. And then when I was laying in bed, I could kind of tell that it was just getting a bit scratchy. And then I woke up Thursday and I just didn't feel 100%, but like carrying on as normal. On my walk into the office, I was literally 10 minutes into the walk and I was so out of breath, and it was just, that was when I realised that I definitely just wasn't 100%. So I kind of powered through yesterday. It was a rest day anyway, so I just got home at like lunchtime from the office, sat at my desk, did some coaching work for a few hours, and then I just had a really chilled evening. And then today I actually drove into the office because one, the weather was terrible, but also because I just didn't want to run myself down at all. Like I wanted to just save as much energy as possible. And also I was running late, so it just made my life a bit easier. So yeah, that's how we got here. I'm also very upset because I drove in today, I was going to pick up a tortilla because then I could just pick it up, bring it home, still get home earlier than normal because I'm driving, and get back in good time for Zuko still with a tortilla for lunch. But I walked there and it was closed temporarily. They were cleaning something, like I think something had obviously broken or gone wrong, so they were cleaning. They're like, oh, we're really sorry, like we're just temporarily closed. So I was like, that's fine. I drove home and I checked on Just Eat and I was like, they're still taking orders. I'm going to order something. And it said it would be like a 30-minute wait, which is normal. I've literally just had a notification through to say it's been cancelled, which means I now have 54 minutes to make something to eat that fits into my macros for the day and eat it and get my podcast and everything set up. So that's a bit annoying, but it's fine. But yeah, it's been a really standard couple of days. I'll be honest, I didn't feel particularly social yesterday or even Wednesday, like, to be honest, like looking back. But I think it's just because I was obviously coming down with something, and I think that's probably why I didn't really want to pick the camera up so much. So now I know why that is. I'm kind of feeling a bit better, but I've got a very chilled weekend plan, which obviously I'll talk about in the next video. Can't remember where it's out. But yeah, I'm feeling a lot better today, to be fair. And I've got a podcast booked in at 4 with Sophia Ellis, British 76 lifter. She's a coach as well. I'm going to chat with her for a bit this afternoon on a podcast. I don't know when that episode's going to go up. I've got one booked in for tomorrow at 4 as well, with Kate Sweatman, who is the junior GB head coach for the equipped team, and she is a coach as well herself, and also she's an amazing equipped lifter. So I've got her booked in tomorrow to do an episode on equipped. So this Sunday is Sheffield, so logically I would like Monday's episode to be the Sheffield recap, but it's just not possible to get it obviously filmed straight away and in time. So Manny and Millie did potentially say about filming it Monday and then getting it out as soon as possible, but I was like, to be honest guys, I'm just going to upload it the week after anyway, because I want to stick to a Monday for my uploads. If that means the Sheffield recap's a little bit late, then that's not a problem, like it doesn't really matter. So yeah, to be honest, I'm probably going to end the video here. I've got nothing else really planned. I need to go and eat. I don't know what I'm going to have. I've been really enjoying those vegan like meat substitutes in flatbread, so I might do that. Because I've got some more in the fridge and that doesn't take very long to cook, to be fair, so I might just go do that. But yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up here. Nothing else to really say. Just kind of fighting away a cold, trying to make sure it doesn't catch up with me too much. Thankfully it's a light week, so training shouldn't really take it out of me either. And yeah, just plodding along. I was basically in a massive panic with my podcast. I had nothing planned for Monday. Like, I've not filmed anything for Monday yet. I have got some solo episodes kind of in the back of my mind that I know I could do at some point. And I probably will film them at some point soon anyway, just so I've got them in the backlog. But I don't really obviously want to do solo episodes as much as I can avoid them, because I just think they're not as interesting. So I basically just messaged so many different people that I knew I wanted to have on and was like, do you want to come on? Like, blah, blah, blah. And I've got so many booked in now over the next couple of weeks, which is fantastic, because it's forced me to get my shit together and also will avoid me having any more of these stresses. But also just means I've got a very busy couple of weeks, but that's not a bad thing. I'd rather get at least like 4 or 5 episodes in the backlog at a time, just so that I know there is no stress going forwards. So yeah, anyway, gonna wrap the video up here. If you've made it to the end, thank you. Please be sure to like, comment, let me know you're still here, and subscribe if you haven't already. If you haven't as well, go listen to my podcast, The Art of Lifting, especially if you're watching Sheffield. Listen to the recap, not the recap shows, that's not out yet. Listen to the preview shows, because the preview shows give so much extra context to the competition if you're not already like a massive powerlifting fan. I would also recommend listening to the other preview shows that are already out as well. But yeah, thank you if you made it to the end, and I'll see you in a few days for the next video.
Ice in my palm, my girl, she know she the one. I put the ice on her hand, I put some ice on her arm.